Friday we're doing a special show for you. Not sure what that is yet, but we'll figure it out. Pizza Fridays are closed until further notice. We're not sure what's going on, but my wife's ex is almost as skinny as I am. I gotta get even skinnier. I'm going down to 130, boys. You can't keep up with me at 130. Let's go. Little does he know, it's not the time to be a fast runner. You gotta be, you're gonna have to be bulky, big and bulky. Wanna know why? Because we're not gonna be able to eat for months at a time. So I'm gonna have to eat my own, like my body's gonna eat itself for 2 months and I'm gonna survive. I'm a survivor. I'm telling you right now, straight up, I gotta lose 14 pounds today. And I don't know how it's gonna happen, but we gotta do it. If I'm to hit my goal of 130 by next Friday. Oh, I hope everybody enjoys this show. This is just for fun, right? I mean, so many Karens out there. I can't imagine living with one. I don't know what my life would be like if I lived with a Karen. If I was dating a Karen. If one of my mistresses was a Karen. All these questions fly through my head. Yeah, leave a comment after the stream if you are a boss. Let me know. How can you tell a Karen from a Karen? What sets Karen apart from the rest of the pack of Karens, you know? Karen 2.0s, you know? Them real dirty Karens. So my cat has been on this food kick. He's eating and eating like every hour and a half, 2 hours. He's telling me he's eating. He goes and eats and then he comes and tells me again. Then he's like, I could probably go for another bite. He'll go back, grab a bite. It's been 5-10 minutes. He comes back. He's like, hey, I just had a bite. Oh, I gotta get a stuffed mammal of me, you know? Not a stuffed animal, a stuffed mammal of me. I think that would sell really good on the show. Of course, I'm not gonna do it. Some goof from some other, wherever you're from, be like, oh, I didn't watch the Hash Info show. They're running Netflix right now. Did you see what he said yesterday? Quick, make a movie and tell John Cena to say this. I'm getting fed up with it. I've seen too many movies lately. And trust me, I know I'm that guy. I'm getting Ace Ventura every single time. Whatever that movie was with that guy. When the lights fall out of the sky, they're like, oh, it was a light from an airplane. It says stage light on it. And in that movie, they literally say that they live in a dome, too. So, you gotta look at all these things, eh? At the very end of the movie, when Ace Ventura goes out in the middle of the ocean, and he finds the stage door, that's a pretty big deal, you know? In the movie Existence, within Z, Existence, it's a beautiful movie. It's the first of all the Matrix movies that were born. Existence is where the Matrix was born. Nobody knows this because they're small-minded and they think that people don't steal ideas. Existence came up with that. They proved that we are in some sort of system that is so real we can't recognize it, right? When you take a VR headset, for instance, and it's all crappy and you can, like, it's all pixelated, choppy, you know? Maybe the audio is cutting in and out too, staticky. It takes away from realism. doesn't it? But what if a game had a better processor? What if a game had a better graphics card? What if a game had a really good audio card? Then what? Well, we already have sound systems that throw out spatial 3D sounds. You can have a helicopter in your basement hovering above your head as if it were actually there. So what is stopping this from being completely virtual reality? Nothing. End my case. Your Honor. Why did we ever sing the song God Save the Queen? Do you realize what you're asking? You're asking Jesus Christ or God to save a human being, right? Or, well, to save someone who actually charges all of us, no matter who it is, rent. In order to be here on this earth, you have to pay rent. To who? The one we're supposed to save? Explain to me how you've gotten so indoctrined that you forgot to realize what's really going on. Remember, if you want to be part of this show, it's probably not going to happen. This is my show. You can go make your own. I'm not going to go watch it and none of it. Like, I'm not interested. If you make a show that's interesting and awesome, they will come. But if you sit there and make a show about feet or just video games or just hash or anything, you're wasting it all. You're wasting your ability and your opportunity to actually reach the masses and have a opinion or a matter spoken, right? Something that matters is a matter at hand, okay? But do you value important matters? Or do you simply sit there and worry about the next election in some country that, you know, goes to war and creates wars overnight? They pay secret people to hide in the night and cause conflict and have it look like it's somebody else, another country. Is this the way you want to live forever? Just back and forth, these simple games? This isn't a game of chess. It's a shady game of Survivor. That as soon as I realized Survivor was fake, I no longer watched it. Do you know what a mole is? A mole is a person who is a secret person who runs around pretending they're somebody that they're not, so that they can grab information, take it back to headquarters, and ruin the world for another 40 years. This is not the way. Remember, everybody, there's a lot of people that they thought they were doing their job. I'll give you an example of this. Some of you can't even hypothesize as I can. A police officer becomes a police officer, a cop, to uphold the law. When they get there and they realize they work for politicians who are some of the dirtiest people on the planet, I bet you they want to quit almost instantaneously. I bet you a lot of good police have now retired or quit their jobs because they refuse to uphold these insane, archaic ways. Who was the first person to make the laws that govern us today? Would they be okay with the way the laws are bent in the last 3 or 4 years with regard to emergency laws? Emergency laws? You mean the founders of societies and systems that created everything? They forgot this? That's impossible. So what these people have done is actually create fake laws while they're in power that you can't. The more tyrannical and iron-fisted you are, the more chance history will forever spit in your face. Remember this. The ones who lead with heart and soul and conscience are never frowned upon. And if they are, it's by the elites who are few and far between. You have more. Your entire family has more fungal infections in their feet than the elites are people. Do you understand? There are not a lot of them. There can't be. Because eventually, when enough people figure out what is going on, the good ones, there is good people in every bunch. They may be playing secret right now. Secret person, top secret dude, top secret chick. They don't even know it yet. Their conscience is slowly influencing them to steer clear of these bunch of roving bandits, these marauders, these slew bugs. I've had a protein shake this morning. I'm going to cut up some kiwis, get a protein shake to my wife, get a couple cups of teas in us. We're going to hydrate, eat a little bit of fruit. I'm going to pour a couple bowls of berries, and that's what's for breakfast. Stuff that's going to go right through you, clean, easy, and my husband's ex will be fatter than I am again. 14 days of this, baby. Let's go. I got to drop 62 pounds in 9 hours. Now, just remember, everybody, they used to show us storks dropping off babies. And your parents never thought anything of it. Your parents, grandparents, or great-grandparents were adopted. But because of all the movies and the songs and, well, all the wiping out of your memory, period, point blank, you've not only forgotten where you come from, but you've never known, or you did know for a minute, for a spare moment, a fleeting one, and then she left you. And for some reason, you don't care to think about the past. You don't care to think anymore. As you get older, you ponder less. You absolutely ponder less of things that matter, and you probably spend your life being envious of somebody else's car or truck or bike or whatever it is. Envy. But yet those good books that all these old people have read, 10, 20, 30 times, they didn't stick with them, eh? The big morals within these big books, they never stuck. We live in a world of evil, and that evil slowly seeps into you. Evil doesn't care about intelligence. Evil loves to troll. I have seen more evil old men trolling young women and young men on YouTube than ever before. It's a disgrace to what you call a society and I call a system of hatred. An indoctrinated system of hatred is what society is right now. Where in order for you to get a raise at your job, you have to quietly tell your boss there's stuff wrong with the other ones. But when you're so good that all you do is try and help everyone, get this job and feel good, and you get stepped on, you get used as a ladder. Your back hurts, your shoulders hurt. You're like, geez, I spent a year here helping other people. I still make the same wage. They're all getting, huge bonuses, whatever it is. My back hurts. All I got's a backache. So corporations are designed, literally designed for a hierarchy system. And the hierarchy system is, of course, what we refer to as a Ponzi scheme, a pyramid scheme, where one person sits at the top collecting billions, while everybody else at the bottom makes less money. Every person at the bottom makes less money than the guy at the top, combined. Make that make sense. Make that make sense. So you choose to call it society. I call it slavery. When one person sits at the top and makes more money than 42,000 people at the bottom and does nothing every day. We allow this? You go sign up for sports leagues all over TV. You go pay for tickets to sports games to see a goofy hockey player
cross-check a guy in the face, take him out for a year, maybe paralyze him. You went and paid for that? That evil act? You saw and you clapped. As it's happening, you don't know the other guy's paralyzed. You're clapping and cheering with the poison in you that they charge $12 for a little glass of poison. So you've drank their Kool-Aid. Every time you go to a game or at home, you're drinking their Kool-Aid. So you got to take steps back, and every time you think you're giving an opinion, you should take a look at your own life and see how sad and sadistic you've led your life, your whole life. What have you amounted to that you've completely, you're putty in the elite's hands? The less you care, the less you show, the more putty you become, the more malleable they can manipulate you into anything they want. You become a coward, you're weaker, you're less wild. And I don't mean this in a sense of anything other than you've been broken. Do you know the song Wild Horses? It's a beautiful song. Do you know what cowboys in this day and age, not 1400s, which never existed, go fucking find one wagon wheel in any of your towns right now. Just one wagon wheel, you sad sacks. But they got Viking boats from 4,000 years ago being fully pulled out of Iceland or Sweden right now. Well, we can't find a fucking wagon wheel from 300 years ago. You're sad sacks. So, here's the facts. Look around you. Don't believe what is put on the news. And remember that you don't know anything because you got all your information from the news. Those people, it's the same as a movie script. What is said on the news is scripted. You don't have to believe me. It comes off a fucking paper. That's a script. I've lived a long time. I'm nearly 50. 50 years old. In the old days, I'd be considered one of the wisest of wise at this time, right now. When the beard on me is gray and full, I'd be considered one of the wisest of wise. Never forget that. Because as you get any older, you go senile. And this is unfortunate. It's mostly because of the food you eat. Dementia comes from anything that is unhealthy in food. And they can swear by it. Because we didn't have dementia all these years ago. My great Ava did not have dementia. He passed on, a long time ago. And he lived to be very, 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 very old. Older than my cat. And he knew things that, most people can't remember ever. They just can't remember. He still remembered. We would test him. I would go with my mom and we would chat with him, and I had no quarrels. It wasn't weird or anything. I loved him, I was like, hey, this is my blood, and he was a good man. So I had no quarrels going and chilling with my great Ava. No quarrels. And I always went with my mom. I was happy to go visit with my mom. We need more good people sooner than later to wise up and not follow the elites to hell. That's what's going to happen. If you think society is so perfect and colonization was so good, I'll ask you, what do you think the world was like before the Queen colonized this place? I say it was paradise. And I also say your opinion don't matter to me because I see what it's turned into. So regardless of what it was before, it's complete hell here now. So colonization didn't work. And besides that, why does it have to be English? Why couldn't the whole planet have been colonized to Spanish? Like, is there that much racism in the world where people are like, it has to be English? English people are white. I don't understand any of it. I don't value any country that colonizes. Not England, not Spain. No one. No one deserves or should have the right to force me to do anything while I'm here. No one. Especially not speak a language that I am familiar with, that I actually love, right? Like, je t'aime le français, vraiment. Try taking one of those from me. Try telling me I can't speak it, and watch the complete violence that happens to you. You have to protect what is able to be protected, and that is your sovereign rights. And if people try to take those from you in any way, shape, or form, you know, of course you would do what you have to do for your freedom, right? And we live in a world where people think that wars are meant to be fought in Russia and Ukraine, or Afghanistan, Iraq, Syria, but never here. Oh, we should never have war here. We're domesticated. We're first world. Do you know who starts all the wars? Take a guess if you think it's the third world nations coming internationally to start wars with other continents. Or do you think it's first world countries going in and wanting and taking, stealing, killing, murdering? Who do you think it is? Third world countries or first world? And you think first world nations are so smart and so far advanced. They're the most evil places on the planet. Most evil places on the planet. So for instance, America, first world. America won the war, controls the money system, has more poverty per capita, and it's first world. So you have to understand how deep this is. There are people living next to you who are millionaires. You in your fridge, you have no food. You have kids who are starving. Your neighbors are fucking millionaires. You go to a third world country, every fucking hut has no food. Do you understand? So, capitalism, which I can't believe there's people that think that that's proper, right? Yes, you should have to work for your food, in the terms of going to a farm and planting a seed, and then going back to that plant and watering the seedling, and turning it into a plant, and then a shrub, and then a tree, or whatever it is, an apple tree or a fucking cob of corn. But if you think that you have to go and jump on somebody's back, tell 3 other people lies about somebody else so that you get the raise, you keep your job while the other one gets let go, that's fucked up. You just made a family starve. That's fucked up. I just don't fit in with this place, you know. I don't understand how people can be so blinded by what's right in front of you. But I've been correlating this stuff for decades. I've been really noticing struggles of people, noticing how not to struggle, seeing how easy it is not to struggle, but at the same time I get people are disabled, or maybe they're not even half as smart as I am. Maybe you spent most of your life being raised by people who, didn't value knowledge. So now you're stuck, right? Now you're not even a one-trick pony. You would swear you're a one-trick pony, but the best trick you can do, a 4-year-old from Thailand can triple backflip off of you and do that trick while they're, backflipping. They got your trick inside of a triple backflip. So forget it. You got nothing. And any skills you think you have in corporation world, technology land, AI is about to wipe you right out. So I'll ask you, if you're not needed on the phones, If an AI bot can sell just as good as you, or maybe even a little bit not as good as you, but it's free, right? Like it's $1 million to have 1 million AI bots, or it's $42 million for whatever it is, 65,000 employees with benefits and computer chairs. You understand? A year. So there's your math. It's a one timer for the AIs, and you got to constantly pay those people for the rest of their life. Plus, you got to give them a pension, right? Benefits, pension. Uh, maybe they don't show up for work one day. So you lose sales while the AI shows up every fucking day, makes the same steady amount of money. You can't compare with a bot. There's very few industries left within the next 10 or 15 years that you could broaden your horizons, get an education, or you don't have to go to school to get an education. You got to hang out with a wise man, a real wise man. And they're everywhere. They're everywhere. But I got a big secret for you. They're not willing to teach you, right? Like everything, everyone has something to do, right? Nobody has time to wipe. You need 15 years of studies. You know, you'd have to follow a dude around every day, 15 years. No one's doing that anymore. You kind of missed the boat. Like the 90s are over, yo. With the age of the internet, no, and yeah, I mean, it's hard to explain, but those dudes are done, right? Those times are over. It's also legal now, so you know, it's a long story, and you're never gonna get it. There's people who know exactly what I'm talking about. They're bosses, you know. I never really explain jokes because I don't need people here that don't have high enough intellect. I get that you want to understand. I don't have time to wipe for each person that doesn't get what I just said. I have to continuously continue this. This is what it is. And I don't value unintellectual people. Period. Like not even for a second. So that's probably also why I don't even really think you exist in my world. If you're like this is how it is. If a UFO comes to Earth with highly advanced species, do you think that fucking UFO is gonna land and start chatting it up with an anthill? LOL. Same reason I don't chat with 97% of this planet. Because you're ants and I'm me. I don't understand ant. And I don't want to understand ant. And I think you ants should have a great life. See ya. Enjoy your lives. Be free in whatever society you've chosen to indoctrinate yourself in. Hey? Whatever parent you listen to, A, B, or C, or, you know, 2 moms, 2 dads, three and 3, or, you know, divorcees. You got 4 parents now. You don't listen to any of them? You're probably doing better off. Because parents were all fooled. We were all fooled at the same time. Yes, some of us got it. But most parents, whether it be my mom or my wife's parents or your parents, or they were all fooled. The world we lived in was a young world. There is a lot of blame to lead, right? Whether you sat there using alcohol all day or any, you know, pharmaceuticals all day, you screwed up your life, right? You screwed up your life big time. Do you know what psychosis is? You want to know one thing that should always be on the back of a pharmaceutical pill bottle? High chance of psychosis. But they don't tell you that. They don't tell you that. Look up what psychosis is. It's like you're seriously trapped in your tiny mind all day, and you can see it. The second you start chatting with someone and there's something else going on in their head, or if they're constantly not really paying attention, that's psychosis. That's them trapped in thought that is so simple, they're probably thinking about fucking erasers. Can't hang around with you. Sorry, not sorry in the slightest. can't be friends. Friends to me are people that actually value me, right? That understand how important what I have to say is. Those are people I make friends with who have something I value that I would love to learn. Yes, it's still sneaky and conniving, and I'm just there for your info. But at the end of the day, why are we here? But to collect and understand why we're here. I think one of the greatest games ever created is the game of Clue. I think the game of Clue is much bigger than it lets on. And it implies or it regards this whole planet as the game. And we're here to catch a clue about why the fuck we're here, who put us here, who put the dome here, and who's the goof that says that we have to live on a spinning ball of water, spinning at 19,000 miles per hour in space. Try and recreate this science experiment right now in your home. I want you to spin a ball of water at 19 miles per hour. 1,000 times less the speed the other fucker's supposedly spinning, right? You got that one dude that swears this is how it is. He's going straight to jail. DeGrasse Bison or whatever his name is there. Yo, dude, get a haircut and just pop yourself in a cage, bro. I want to be the one to feed that guy rotten carrots for the rest of his existence. You know? They try and portray on TV who's the smartest person, but here's the real deal. They're not going to show you who's the smartest person. You want to know why? Because they would out this whole sad sack in a second. The smartest person would love the world mic. You understand this, right? The world mic. You know how some people get 11,000 watching their stream on YouTube? Some people get 147,000 people watching them on YouTube. Strapped with a gold chain and a Pokemon card dangling from it. I never seen nothing like this. I should have screenshot it and grabbed that day. I'm livid and disgusted all at once. This is about 3 years ago. One of them, Jogan Paul or one of them, the one that was making fun of dead people hanging from a tree in Japan. And they went to a suicide park in Japan or something. That guy. He's sitting there about 3-4 years later. All you minions, you went back to his channel. No, you have no respect for yourselves or the dead. Well, you don't have a conscience. You still subscribe to the biggest loser on YouTube. Think about it. This dude straps a Pokemon card to his chest. He dangles a Pokemon card. He goes live on YouTube and says, you know, I'm sitting here with a $1 million Pokemon card strapped around my head, bro. And I'm like, is this really happening? Is this really happening? And I watch the Muppets just start flooding in. Muppets everywhere just flooding in. 99, 101, 132,000 people live watching this dude. I'm thinking to myself, is this really happening? Is this? And then I knew instantly a few things. I knew they only want to share the world mic with the people who have nothing brilliant to say. And I'll never forget that. When I find out who's in charge of Google and YouTube Canada, like I'm going to get their names. I'm going to launch and press legal action against these people for the hindrance and the... I've lost money. I've lost mega bucks by them blacklisting my channels. And I'll never forget this. There isn't a fucking channel on YouTube that has ever been live as much as mine. I've checked now. I'm the largest daily live streamer in the world on YouTube. I'm also the only one who's a man. By far the only fucking Viking. I fear nothing. Do you understand fear nothing? The people that you would cower and start shaking, fuck, when they see me, literally, they are fucking shatter. You know what shatter is? In an ice storm, They're like shatter. I could just barely touch them, and they would just crumble. It's quite upsetting. It's quite upsetting. I'm not mad at YouTubers. It's not really your fault. The way YouTube is designed, it's designed for you to love the ones who have the biggest number for subscribers. It's always been that way. Even all the shops, all the businesses with no social media at all. You want to know the biggest problem with businesses that I saw? This was years ago. They would rather go out of business than not take a chance, than guarantee themselves some advertising, right? Some advertising is guaranteed with any YouTuber, whether it's 1 view or 1,001 view. I could have got many businesses, hundreds of thousands of views by now, hundreds of thousands, generating tens of thousands of dollars, guaranteed. Now, it's not off everyone, but maybe it's off every 10,000, right? 10,000 views. They're catching a big sale on whatever. Maybe they're catching an LP is into buying their lights, right? But you didn't realize that I connect to whatever it is, 5,600 here, 5,700 we're about to hit in the next couple days. 5,700 here. I think I was at like 2,000 on IG, and then I had 1,450 on Hash TV. I got a couple other with 500, 200, and 150. But you add all that up, right? And then you add up all the times that I go live, and then you gotta times that by how many views the videos get, right? And then you've got to times that by 5 years. So those businesses lost out big time. And here's the deal. They've never been, nobody's even heard of their businesses 5 years later. They were only interested in finding someone who had 1 million subscribers. But here's the deal. No one with a fucking 1 million subscribers cares about your shit little tiny company that's only offering $50 or $250. These people play for $5,000 a video, $25,000 a video. Goobers, complete straight goobers. So what you did is you bled yourself dry, keeping your business that wasn't succeeding afloat, and you're, businesses take 5 years before they start making money. It was your 5th year, you didn't clear a dime, and now look, you've had to merge companies, sell out your stock. Like, people lose their shirts because you're only looking for the PewDiePie of the YouTube. But here's the deal. PewDiePie doesn't fucking want to work with you. For $4 an hour. That's what he would classify you're serving to him as, right? So, and trust me, this isn't me leading to, so I'll do it for 35. No, fuck. I don't want to make money. I want to make money to buy food, pay for shelter, pay for utilities. Fucking Canada, we have to buy water. Thanks, Queen of England. Colonization is awesome, guys. We pay for fucking water. Like, it's so corrupt. But again, ask any redneck that's in the society right now with you could have $100,000 or $1 million pension. They love this world. Until the lights go out, bud. Until they go out. Until your pension's wiped the fuck out. You'll see. Now, that's why there is this thing where you can get a certain portion of your pension somehow, whatever it is. Think about it like this. What's bigger? 18% or fuck all? Which one got you further in life? 18% of money or fuck all of money? Hey? Because if you look around the world and you Google the word pensions being taken from hard-working people, doesn't matter what country, You couldn't read every story that's ever existed with the rest of life you have left. You understand? So it's a very common societal action is to steal. Okay? Just straight up steal. Now you ask yourself, did the billionaire, trillionaire who owned the corporation, did they lose? Wait, what? They got even more? How? But why? Oh, that's how it works. Ah. So there's people who, lawmakers, who give the okay to say, yeah, you know what, we're gonna let this one's okay. And you know how that works? Eh? Take a guess what you think happens in order for that guy to go, oh yeah, I think we can let this one slide. Envelopes, bro, envelopes. So, probably get into another banger, but I just want you all to understand how important it is you actually care about something. Other than greed, money, your car, your hairdo, your clothes, you should care about people. People you've never met before. You should care strongly about everybody. You should always want to help people. You would want to always be the opposite of what the elites have made you into. Okay? This is the way you reverse the indoctrination. So I'll give you an example of exactly what's going on here. If you want a self-help video, they say you should stop doing all the things that you've done daily, such as brush your teeth. If you brush your teeth with your right hand, brush your teeth with your left hand today. And if you never brush your teeth first thing in the morning, as soon as you get out of bed, go brush your teeth, right? If you're not used to having a bath, get in the bathtub right now and wash your body, right? You'll feel better when you get out. Brush your gums, right? Brush your tongue. Look in the mirror and tell yourself that you're worth it. You're worth it. You love yourself. You're a good person. You're going to do good today. You're going to help people. This is the opposite of the way you've led your life before, right? But by doing this, it's the same thing as what I just said to you. Everything that you've ever done before that you thought was perfect with regard to telling people it's this way, it's that way, not letting people be, you got to stop that. Because you're no better than the elites. Think of the sheriff of Nottingham. He told people how it was. It was his way or you died. Do you want to be like that? Do you want to live in a world where you're told it's this way or not? Then don't act it. You got to stop being the hatred that you don't want to see in this world. Alright, I'm all dressed. I got things to do. I'm a little tired, but I don't really feel like starting it up right now. I'm gonna have to take a nap. 9 a.m. and I'm just bagged. I was up all night with my cat again. Every hour he had me up. My heart just races in the middle of the night when I gotta get up to you. I just don't like it. Like races. If you knew, like I'm telling you, there's some people I think you don't really understand what I mean. I'm telling you, like I get fed up. And I rarely get like that, you know. I don't get angry when I'm, like I don't want to beat anyone up, but like even when I'm about to like fight, which I don't remember when the last time that was, maybe 25 years ago, that's the way I get. You know, I don't even get like that. My heart doesn't even race, you know. I stay calm. I'm very collected. You gotta control your breathing. It is number one, because you never know what's gonna happen after it starts, right? Someone could lean on your lungs or something, right? And if you're already winded, then you're in wicked trouble after that, right? So yeah, so needless to say, it takes a lot out of me to babysit my cat this hard, eh? I do it and everything, but I just can't imagine if I had to work a 12-hour shift right now. I mean, I could do it, but I would be bagged. You would start to see it on me right away. I'm thankful right now that I can have a quick nap, and then I'm going to clean the whole house here and keep her spotless, and then I got a couple things I gotta do today. I'm not gonna tell you what they are. They're just gonna get done. You're gonna see them. I'm a vlogger. I'm a flogger on YouTube, and I get her done, you know? Probably gonna get into some pressing matters here. I got a bunch of stuff going on right here. I'll be back on another banger. Stay tuned for more great videos just like this. And remember, don't be such a coward. Seriously, too many cowards in this world. You're scared of something happening to your well-being. Do you know by you doing nothing this whole time, eventually, soon, there is nothing you're going to be able to do. So stop being a coward now and start to just realize and recognize what's coming, right? I don't think you all even could fathom for a second how bad it's going to be. If slavery exists right now, what's going to happen when the elites get their hands on AI robots and they put billy clubs in their hands and they raise the taxes even more? And then they start to do what that other guy was saying, put up big fences everywhere. Keep people in one area. Do you think this doesn't happen in France? Go look around in the poor district in France. I'll see you guys next time. Hashman out.